commentators want to get on a line now? Anybody?
This gentleman here, Thinking Critical, is he's one of the lesser knowns, mainly because he doesn't seem to be trying to do his own comic book or fundraising for one. He seems just committed to, the narrative spreading, right? Yeah, Wes. I don't necessarily think that he's a grifter. I think that he probably believes the shit he's saying. It's just a lot of it's really stupid. From comic shops, what do you mean? So like he was a retailer or is a retailer? Is a retailer. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, he knows more about comics than generally I expect from guys that say the similar shit that he says. I'll give him that. He definitely has a weird slant to his views. He was spreading this rumor the other day from this website called Comical Opinions. As Vicky says, he's Comicsgate-adjacent, but not Comicsgate. Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it. And these are the kind of guys I'm going to be looking at more going forward, by the way. So I don't know, Vicky, if you have any insight on anything that you see me covering, it's definitely appreciated. But like I'm really gaining more interest in the guys who don't necessarily claim Comicsgate or even, like Draw and Talk. That dude, he said him and Ethan don't like each other at all. And yet he's basically just giving more nuanced versions of what Ethan says in his video I watched recently. Yeah. So Geek Getaway calls out Eric July all the time because Geek Getaway is a tool for Ethan Van Sciver. All right, so Comical Opinions, I had not heard of them, but I will say this. Their name is accurate, but not in the way that they probably want. So there are some rumors about the new X-Men comics that are going to come out once this whole fall of X thing happens. Tom Brevoort announced he was moving away from his role of overseer for such titles as the Avengers in favor of his new position as head of the X Office. Speculation skyrocketed. That's all true. That's all factual. Aside from wondering what would become of Jordan White and the X-Slack mainstays. Okay, I guess they're focusing on the fact that they use Slack. The topic of conversation quickly shifted to two questions. What new X-Men titles for 2024 would make up the post-Krakoa era? Valid. That's my question too. Well, we kind of know now. And who would Brevoort get to write them? Well, Comical Opinions, they received a copy of the working plan. Holy shit, how did they get that? They received a copy for the working plan with proposed titles and who Brevoort has tapped to write them. This information was confirmed by multiple sources who have been proven trustworthy in the past. But please consider this as a rumor until Marvel... Like, this is such fucking bullshit. Like, multiple sources have confirmed this. They've been trustworthy before. And then also, this is not necessarily true. Come the fuck on, man. But according to their sources, the conclusion of Rise of Powers of X will definitively put an end on the Krakoa era. Sandman, yep, you know where I'm going with this. So, here are the actual titles and the creators that, keep in mind, while still rumored, multiple sources have confirmed it. Uncanny X-Men, written by Gail Simone with a Jubilee-led team. Iron Man and the X-Men, written by Dan Slott, described as X-Men as Avengers. Deadpool and the X-Men. All Deadpool and X-Force books pitched and developed by Rob fucking Liefeld. Holy shit. Uncanny Deadpool. Deadpool and Wolverine. All new Wolverine. Uncanny X-Force. Dark X-Force. It might be possible to look at this list and see that there's some, maybe there's some reason that this might be valid until you think about it for 5 seconds. Look, here's the thing.
It's the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. It's clobbering time.
Whoever made this up, because look, this shit is made up. They went through a lot of effort to formulate these things. And when you think about why, it kind of starts to make sense. So Uncanny X-Men, written by Gail Simone. Now, that's the thing that made me at first think that, maybe there's some valid, maybe some truth to this. Because Gail Simone is writing the Free Comic Book Day X-Men book. And there are a lot of people, myself included, who kind of have hope that she is going to be staying on an X-Men book after that. I would love to have a Gail Simone-led book. Fucking give it to me. But a Jubilee-led team. Now, since we know that this is bullshit, and I'll tell you why we know that in a minute, but it is bullshit. Why would they say Jubilee-led team? Because it's going to trigger the chuds. It's going to get the people that they, their readership, they're riled up. because Jubilee, what? She's just got little fireworks powers, you know, like it kind of is pretty silly. The idea, I'm sure that someone writer could write that kind of book and make it fine. It'd be fine. It would make sense. Maybe Jubilee would come out, you know, even more badass than she's ever been or something. Who knows? But to me, knowing that this is bullshit, it just seems like it was formulated to get a response. Iron Man and the X-Men, described as X-Men as Avengers. I mean, there could be some valid reasons to think something like that could happen. I mean, there is. So basically, the entirety of this Iron Man run, almost that currently Gary Duggan's been doing, is been entwined with the Krakoa and X-Men stuff and Emma Frost. Literally, the last several issues have been all under the kind of Fall of X banner and dealing with that stuff with Emma Frost. And then saying that Dan Slott is on it. Look, chuds hate Dan Slott. They hate Dan Slott. And yeah, as Sandman says, he's not going to be writing that because he's already on 2 monthlies. And let's be fucking honest. The last time Dan Slott wrote an Iron Man book, it wasn't good. Most people didn't like it. It didn't sell well. Iron Man 2020, that whole thing. I couldn't even, like, you want to talk about how it's hard to write bad comics? That was pushing it close to bad for me. I was just like, I just think all of this is a really bad take on Iron Man. I didn't fucking enjoy it. I read like 2 or 3 issues. But so then we get to this one with Rob Liefeld. And now Rob Liefeld has been tweeting, you know, some vague cryptic shit because that's what Rob Liefeld does. They bring Rob Liefeld back on to do a little side book here and there. That's the most they're willing to do for Rob. I wish they wouldn't do that. I think that's fucking stupid. I think that he's not a fucking good writer. I think that he's not a good artist. I think that he's a fucking dickhead and that he's trashed other people in the industry, you know, left and right. And that, you know, he's also kind of like done some mild trashing of like LGBT readers and stuff. So fuck Rob Liefeld. I don't think there's any reason for him to continue getting work, you know, but whatever. He's got a name. So that's the reason that they bring him back, is people know the name. So he sells books. They're not going to give Rob Liefeld, who is just infamous for not being able to fucking keep a book current, not being able to get things out on time. They're not going to wrest several fucking titles from their biggest moneymaker in the year that a Deadpool and Wolverine movie is coming out. They're not going to give that to Rob Liefeld. I'm sorry. It's just, that would be like, there would never have been a more fatal mistake, in my opinion, as far as like choosing someone to be on a book. Not being able to draw feet is the least of his problems, to be honest. So that's not happening. That's not happening. All new Wolverine. I don't know, maybe, you know, but like Dark X-Force. I mean, look, Dark X-Force is already the dark one. Like, what are you talking about? Dark X-Force. X-Force is Dark X-Men. That's where some of the shadier shit happens. Actually, there was a Dark X-Men too. I know that. Sorry. That's a different thing. Nonetheless, Dark X-Force doesn't make any sense. And then Ms. Marvel and the New Mutants. Written by Rainbow Roll. School book. All new characters. This seems also intentionally, you know, kind of formulated. Right? Gail Simone's presence in the X office was recently revealed, so that's not a surprise. What is a surprise is just about everything else. Okay. So the reason that we now know this is, you know, look, at the very least, the Deadpool Rob Liefeld stuff has been debunked, which just it stands to reason that all of it is bullshit. And how do we know that that has been debunked? Well, new era of Deadpool finds the Merc with the Mouth in Death's grip. This came out like the same day that I started seeing these rumors going around. Hitting stands in April. Deadpool will be written by Cody Ziegler, known for his acclaimed work on Miles Morales' Spider-Man, and drawn by Roj Antonio. Man, I'm white guying that up. The artist behind some of Venom and Carnage's bloodiest recent adventures. Together, they'll take readers in Wade guns blazing into a new age packed with Deadpool's specific brand of violence and lunacy, along with a heavy dose of deadly family drama. In addition to brand new archenemy named Death Grip, who may very well live up to his name, the series will also feature Deadpool's daughter Ellie in a pivotal role. It's a father-daughter duo of the Marvel Universe isn't ready for. So, there you go. Cody Ziegler writing Deadpool. Not Rob Liefeld. And look, here's this. This is a dope ass cover. It's really cool. It is yet to be revealed if there will be bubbles buried in this jungle.
Bubbles buried in this jungle. Bubbles buried in this jungle.
You know what I mean?